Hey everybody, and welcome back to Slowpoke Racing and to the Ultimate Racing League. Now then, we haven't done one of these for a while, so we thought we would bring it back and have a chat with one of the drivers. It's one of our Let's Talk 2 series, and for those that do not have a clue what I'm on about, this is where we just have a bit of a chat with some of our drivers just to see what makes them tick. Get to know them just a little bit better. We see them going around the track on a regular basis, and it's just sometimes nice to get a voice behind it and, as I say, get inside their heads and see what goes on. This time around we've got, relatively new guy to URL. He's not new to sim racing, I know, but he is new to URL, and I'd like to welcome ChrisR390. Welcome, Chris.
Hi Mark, how are you?
I'm very well, mate. You? I'm
warm in this attic, mate, really warm. It's a bit stuffy today.
It's a bit much, isn't it? And we do apologise to anybody listening if there is a bit of noise. It's because we've both got fans going to try and kick on, cooped up in a little office. So apologies if you can either way. Right, a couple of things. We have got some questions to ask Chris, but it is just a chat, as we all know. And I've done it again. Look, I've got to press play. I keep forgetting to press play. There we go.
We're just going to watch. Perfect.
Yeah, we're just going to watch Chris going round in the Porsche. This was a Porsche Cup, wasn't it, Chris, that you did?
Yeah, we did it with Tyre Shredders. This is a server that I owned and ran, and then we've decided so recently the past couple of weeks to merge with URL because it just made perfect sense. The ethics are the same, the driving and racing is really close. So yeah, we've decided to join the fun. Yeah. So this was a Carrera Cup that we ran, a one-maker GR3 series. We tried to do it as a European version, so we just used the European circuits in the game, and this one I believe is around Barcelona.
It was a lot of fun, this one. I enjoyed this one because it's got Mark Wilson all over the car, so it's even better.
A little bit of self-indulgence, you know.
First question I'm going to ask, and I do ask this of a lot of people that do not have just plain gamer tags. Where does the name Chris R390? I know where Chris comes from, but what about the R390?
Well, the R is my initial for my surname, but it also coincides with the R390 GT1 race car. Originally, I was going to go for the R34 because of the Skyline, but that was taken, so I had to go for the next available option. Oh,
is it a favourite?
Yeah, I've always been Nissan fans. I've got a Skyline myself that I drive every day. So, yeah, I've only had it 6 months, and yeah, still in love with it. Wow. Yeah, Nissans have always been a favourite, and to be honest, that's probably GT's fault, to be honest. I was racing on these since GT1, believe it or not, the first one. And
they made you go and buy a car.
yeah, why not? You've got to indulge yourself, haven't you?
Yeah, of course you have.
That's where the fan of Nissans came from, really, because of the game.
Oh, fantastic. Well, talking of the game, how long you been sim racing? Is it long? Is it something you picked up recently, or...?
Well, like I said, I started racing actually in Gran Turismo 1 back on the PlayStation 1 many years ago. You know, I'm starting to show my age a little bit now. But I started actually getting into sim racing itself probably after COVID. I felt as if that, daily races were okay. I think we're all in the same boat really, but you wanted to do something a bit more competitive and a bit more sort of cleaner maybe sometimes. And somewhere, you can sort of race with the same guys, because you're doing very well these daily races, but you race them once and then you might not ever see them again. So it's good to build those relationships as well.
Yeah, I thought you mentioned COVID there. I think a lot of people actually took the game up during COVID because it was nothing else to do, was there really?
Yeah, exactly, definitely something to do.
Have you got any other hobbies away from GT7? Do you do anything else?
Well, if I'm not in work, I'm usually doing the garden, the usual stuff of being given a list by the partner and cracking on really. But I quite like doing DIY as well. The house I've just bought 12 months ago now, I've completely converted the attic into a sim racing room, built the ladder and everything. I've turned the airing cupboard into the access for the loft and everything, and it's just like, it's always a work in progress, mate. Wow, but it's getting there.
You've properly gone for it then.
Well, keeps you quiet, doesn't it? Keeps you quiet.
Talking of your racing, you've told me that you race in VR.
I do.
I mean, I've not got VR, and I know there's a lot of guys out there that have, and there's a lot, even probably more, that haven't. Does it take long to get used to it, and do you think you could go back to racing without it?
Well, I've done a bit of both. I do a bit of testing for these series that we run sometimes without the VR, so I kind of get the balance between the two sometimes. So I kind of keep my hand in both sort of scenarios, if that makes sense. I've been using the controller on automatic recently, so It
Do
just
you do
seems
that
like it's a wall
do you do it on purpose? I mean, I know some of the guys that use VR will say, "Oh, I could never race any other way," but do you do it on purpose though, just in case?
Kind of, yeah, because it is technology. At the end of the day, there is going to be a point where it's going to fail. So hopefully that's not for a very long time. But I like to sort of keep my hand in both camps, sort of thing, just so I know that if I do have an issue with the VR, I'm not going to be struggling at the back of the grid, losing 2 or 3 seconds.
It's probably a sensible way to look at it, actually, because like you say, technology, it does pack up, doesn't it? And
yeah, it does.
The last thing you want to be doing is struggling in a race, as we've just seen you crash there, talking right on time about struggling.
Yeah, I know. I know.
You did say, didn't you? Don't show the one where I binned it, but sorry about
that. I think I got the wheel on the grass on the inside, lit the tyres a bit too early, and then just spun the back end a little bit.
Well,
and,
I think what it is everybody missed that, and you're that far in front of the others. Look, they're nowhere in. That's all it is.
Yeah, I'm a good 3/4 of a lap ahead of everybody else, should we say? Yeah.
Well, I'm going to ask you. I mentioned at the top of this chat that you've only just joined URL. What do you think of it? I know they say, what do you think of it so far? You ask the audience, but what do you think of it? And would you recommend anybody else out there that's sort of sitting on the fence thinking, well, shall I, shan't I?
Honestly, since I've been a part of URL, it's been really, really easy to get on with. Everyone's been really great, and I think we hold the same sort of work ethic and ideas and vision for. Obviously, like I said, I have my own server as well. I had my own server. It's still kind of there in the background, but it's not going to be. It's all in URL now. So the ethics of both are identical. Alex, who runs the server, is great. I've had a good few chats with him since joining, and he's so relaxed. He sees my point of view straight away, and it's just a mutual respect thing. And I think when you get into a server and you hit off with people so quickly, you know that it's a good place to be. And definitely, if you're on the fence and you don't know which server to join, I'd highly recommend URL, just because of it's just the vibe you get from the guys. It's just unique.
There's a lot of people here to help, isn't there? It's not
loads of people.
You don't have to do anything on your own. If you're stuck with absolutely anything, you just ask, don't you?
Yeah, well, as you've seen in the chat, we're in the planning chat. The amount of stuff I've put in there recently, just saying, can you do this? Can you do this? Because I'm no sort of slouch and sort of a stranger to creating decals and liveries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like you can see the livery on this Porsche. All those decals I've created myself. I've stolen. I tell you a lie. I've stolen the teeth on the front grille.
Yeah.
Because, why not? But everything else has been created myself. I've created, so I'm trying to offer my skills out to URL as well, to say, look, this is what I can do, because it's a shared workload, basically, isn't it? Trying to make it's meant to be fun at the end of the day, and it's not meant to be stressful. So if we can share the workload, why not?
And that's the big thing I've found here. It's like, if you're doing something, there's always somebody willing to help with it, or they'll either let you get on with it or they'll help. It's entirely up to you. Like you say, you don't have to stress. We are here to enjoy ourselves, aren't we? Talking of stress, though, you've got a new season starting with URL, I believe. Is it the road cars?
Yeah, we've got a couple of seasons starting, actually, one after the other. So I'm going to be working with Andy Hoppers from Motorsport Vlogs, to run the Academy series. So this is going to be a one-maker series, basically designed to help people new to the game, really, and those who are looking to brush up their skills, to learn car control, to learn how to race in the rain, for example, and just sort of not up the game as such, as the old cliche is, but certainly try and get more consistent and try and get faster to help compete with the big boys. And then also the series I'm looking to start next Monday is a touring car series. Now, I'm a big BTCC fan. I mean, I'm sitting here at the moment with a touring car bumper mounted on the wall next to me, why not? You've got to decorate your sim room somehow.
Yeah, why not? I've got a wall full of cars, why not? Yeah,
why not? I've got many posters all signed and stuff like that. I'm using as wallpaper at the moment, so, brighten the place up at least. So this touring car series is loosely based on the British Touring Car Championship. There's going to be a front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, and a couple of four-wheel drive cars in there as well. But we're using the road cars because a lot of people use the GR cars. They are a bit of fun, but it can get a little bit monotonous after a while if you do have to use those. So I like to try and think out of the box, try and create something new, try and create, something that potentially people haven't done before. Well, this is like that SimStar and the starter car time trial thing we're doing at the moment. It is loosely based on the one on Top Gear. But it is just something, we've been running this now for 2 weeks, we've already had 30 entries, and there's a queue of people waiting to have a go. It is something new, and it is something out the box. It's not just a time trial, it's a global thing.
That's the SimStar, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, the BTCC stuff, I mean, we ran a season, last season, the season before, I can't remember, there was a lot of scepticism about that, but I think everybody that took part thoroughly enjoyed it, so best of luck with that. I'm sure you're going to get a lot of interest.
Yeah, I've spent 2 years maybe developing and testing these cars, trying to get them spot on, so I just hope it works.
I'm sure it will. And that's next Monday, you say that starts?
Yeah, start it on Monday. Yeah, I'm going to release the details and everything else today, and then we'll start it on Monday.
So there you go. Anybody who wants to get involved in that, if road cars are your thing, then come and join URL, get in touch with Chris and get signed up for that season. When's that run? On a Monday, did you say?
Monday. The lobby's going to be open for 7:30 in the evening, and then it's going to be 3 20-minute races, I think.
Okay, so there you go. Get signed up for that. Well, we're nearly done. I do ask everybody that comes on, so I'm going to ask you the same. I usually ask if there's anything in URL you'd change, but you've not been with us long enough to know if there's anything you want to change. So, is there anything in GT7 itself that you would like to change, if you could change it?
Well, there's two major things, isn't there? It's always a talking point. More tracks, more variation, and more up-to-date sort of like GR cars. I mean, you look at the M4 GT car and the GT3 M4. It's such a beautiful looking thing. I'm not keen on the massive nostrils, but the rest of the car looks incredible. Something like that needs to be in the game, and I think we need more tracks as well. I know there's been variations of these tracks, like the Barcelona. You've got the sprint circuit, which cuts it in half. And you've also got one on the Nürburgring as well, but it's just for opening a release road, basically, isn't it, for the original track? Originally we were promised like Apricot Hill, for example, or even Midfield Raceway and stuff like that. They need to start, bringing stuff like that back in.
Yeah, at the moment, I agree with you on that.
At the moment, he seems to be bringing out cars really that nobody wants to drive. He wants to drive a 3008. You know what I mean? I know it's an everyday car, what people want on the road, but it's not really a race-going car, is it?
It's not. I mean, I think that you're saying what a lot of people say. I mean, this is a racing game. Well, it's a simulator. I know it's a simulator, but it is mainly a racing game. And like you say, people don't want to drive the Peugeot or what's the other one? That Citroen BX thing or something.
Well, the BX is a classic in its right. When it comes down to classic cars like that, on the BX, okay, that probably does have a place. But
will it get used?
Yeah, I think we're looking at a series with the Academy using them, but it just depends on when it comes available in the used car dealership. But I'll certainly explore something like that, because why not? Because it's something different. Like I said, I like to think out the box with these things. But it's just, I am a bit biased. I am half an hour from Open Park in Cheshire, so I'd love to see that in the game. But I think we've already got 2 British circuits, so I doubt they're going to be putting any more in, because we are only a tiny island, really, in comparison to the rest of the world.
I mean, I agree with you, the tracks, though, we definitely need more tracks.
Even like Twin Wing Monkey or something like that, or something, what other... The Istanbul circuit, the F1 used to go to, Formula 1 used to go to, that's an amazing circuit, and that would be really, really good in the game.
I'm sure there's its licenses that cause it, but yeah, I absolutely agree with you that I think new tracks we're long overdue. What was the last one? Was it the Eiger Nordwood or something like that? I think was the
something like that. Yeah, which really it's only really designed for go-karts. Besides those hairpins are interesting.
Yeah. Go-karts and rally cars, but well, there you go. Chris, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, as it always is. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you very much for letting us into your world for a short while. As I've already mentioned, if you do want to get involved in the touring car thing that Chris is running, get in touch with him. You'll find us at URL. Just drop a message on the Facebook page, and we shall point you in the right direction. But for now, it just remains for me to say once again, thank you very much for coming on, Chris.
No problem, thanks for having me.
And I shall catch you all very soon.